Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Evasion from Hell. This game is developed and published by EpiXR Games and released on May 3rd, 2022 for a price of $9.99. If you're not familiar with EpiXR Games, they release a lot of similar games. So I'm not going to talk too much about these or probably go super in depth in this review because it's pretty similar to their prior games, done a little differently. In Evasion from Hell, you basically have to get through the 9 worlds. Once you beat a world, you go on to the next world, etc., etc. The way they lay this game out is a little different than the other games, though. So instead of just jumping through obstacles, you're kind of presented with multiple obstacles all in one level, and once you complete out all those obstacles, through basically like parkour courses, you proceed to the next section, and every section you get to, you'll get a 100 gamer score achievement until you complete all the courses. The way this one works is you have to kind of collect all these. I'm going to call them like these diamond stones, really, whatever you want to call them is up to you. And you do that by walking through these gates and then completing out the sections of the level and parkouring your way from one end to the other. They're pretty straightforward, although this game does have a little more difficulty compared to a lot of the other EpiXR games when it comes to just how hard some of these parkour levels get. I think a lot of people are going to struggle a little more, and this game will definitely take a little more time. Little tips and advice when you are playing: once you do collect a little jewel, just reset yourself because that jewel resets here in that creator or the little cradle for it, and you can tell which ones you need because they're color coded. So I've got the blue one, so we're gonna go into this red gate here, and this is kind of the gist of the game. There isn't really like story dialogue like you get in some of their games sometimes, and it plays a lot different than I fell off there, so sorry. It plays a lot different than like they're like storied games where like the Life of Fly and stuff, and the Murder Diary games where like you're flying around and triggering little stories and sequences. This one is more just parkour courses. There isn't really a story to it, and just try to collect all the little nodes and points and get through the little worlds through the I guess the Evasion from Hell, the Circles of Hell. That's kind of how the game kind of stories itself, and that's kind of the gist. And it's pretty straightforward. You use your analog stick to walk around. You'll use A button to jump. You will occasionally get like double jump power ups, boosting like springboard power up things that you can trigger off of to jump higher. But the main premise of every Worlds is pretty much the exact same. Just run through, pick up the jewels, you can reset yourself back at spawn, and as you can see, we've done another one here. And you just kind of rinse and repeat the same mentality. For me, a lot of these games are more just, you know, creative art style demos than like full on games. Like this one has more like game mechanics than what other EpiXR titles have, so I guess there's a little bit more of a win there for me, in the sense of you actually have stuff to play versus like the Life of Fly games and Murder Diaries, where you're just flying around. You actually have something to do in the sense of parkouring your way through all these puzzles, and like I said, some of them do get increasingly difficult as you kind of progress through the game. But nonetheless, there's nothing that's too super hard or complex. You may just have to die and reset and figure out the right path to make the game as easy for you as possible. Outside of that, there's not really much more to talk about the game. I think it's pretty straightforward and pretty self-explanatory with what I've covered here. As far as giving an opinion on buy, sale, or pass, you know, if you really like these kind of games, and you just want something chill and relaxed, it's worth picking up. But I'd probably pass especially at that $10 price point. I think there's definitely some better games that you can invest your money in that price point. But if you want something just chill, play a world for like 20 minutes, and then move on to the next one, Evasion for Hell might fit what you're looking for. But outside of that, though, there's really not much more here to the game. They generally don't do like added achievements or update more to these games beyond what's already here. So it's kind of you get what you get and wait for the next title to come out. And hopefully you don't fail and get so stressed while trying to do the levels. If you guys did enjoy this review, I'd appreciate you hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time.